What does Swiss made really mean? Now, this has become quite a confusing thing for a lot of people because a lot of brands are bringing up a lot of different definitions that kind of muddy the waters a little bit. So let's talk about this in detail so that we all perfectly understand what it is that we're buying. Now, what I've brought out here are two different examples. One is a Swiss made watch and one is not. However, it has a Swiss made movement, and this is where a lot of people tend to get confused. So we're going to start with the Swiss made watch. Now, to call a watch Swiss made and to actually state the words Swiss made at the 6 o'clock position on any of the dials, you have to follow the 4 rules that are set forth by the Swiss Federation guidelines. Rule number 1 is the movement must be made in Switzerland. Now, that sounds like it should be a fairly obvious thing, but still, we've got to lay out the rules exactly as they're written out. So, the movement has to be a completely Swiss made movement. Now, you can buy Swiss movements from Swiss movement manufacturers in a couple of different columns. One is a Swiss-made movement. The other is a Swiss parts movement where they have all the Swiss components that are then sold or shipped out to another factory somewhere else in the world to get the final assembly, and then it's not really still a Swiss-made movement. So, Swiss-made watch, Swiss-made movement. Number 2, and this rule just changed. They increased how specific it is now. It used to be 51% of the value of the watch had to be made of Swiss components. Well, now it's 60%, and that's going to make a big change in this industry over the next couple of years. So, rule number 2 is at least 60% of the overall value of the watch must be of Swiss-made components. So that allows for more high-quality components, and of course, Swiss components are more expensive than something made in Hong Kong or made in any other country in the world. Number 3, that Swiss-made movement must now be encased inside of the watch in Switzerland. And this avoids you as a manufacturer taking a Swiss-made movement that you paid a lot of money for and then going cheap on everything else by sending it out of the country, because Swiss labor is the most expensive and it's also going to be the most precise. So again, when you know you're getting Swiss-made product, you're getting the best components and the best labor that goes into the manufacturing process. And number 4, and probably one of the most vital, the last rule is that all quality control and inspection has to be carried out in Switzerland as well. And the reason for this is, if you're assembling a watch, let's say in Hong Kong, and you produce 1,000 watches, you might get 999 through that inspection process and only 1 gets bounced back because of a big glaring error. You do that same run of the same quality in Switzerland, probably half of that production is going to go back because they're much more stringent on what can pass their inspections or not. So, you're paying a lot more money for the people that are inspecting it, then you're also paying a lot more money for anything that goes back and has to be remanufactured. So when you buy into the Swiss-made label, yes, it will always cost more, but it will also give you the peace of mind. Now, when we talk about a watch that is not entirely Swiss-made, but has a Swiss-made movement, you're still going to get the reliability and the quality in the core part of that watch, which is the movement. That's what's telling you the time. And that allows the manufacturer to take a full Swiss-made movement, again, not Swiss parts, a Swiss-made movement, and then case it up maybe in Hong Kong, maybe case it up in Panama or wherever else they choose to manufacture. The hands, the dial, the strap, everything can come from any variety of countries in the world, but that movement would have to be Swiss-made movement. And a lot of companies right now are putting Swiss MVT, MVNT, different things on their dial to kind of make it look like it says Swiss-made, and the writing's so small you may not catch it, but do be sure to check. If it says Swiss-made at the 6 o'clock on the dial, you know you've got a Swiss-made product, and that is protected, violently protected as a matter of fact, by the Swiss Federation. Otherwise, anything else, just be sure you know what you're buying. Something like our Swiss Legend brand, you know you're getting a 5-year warranty. It's a full Swiss-made movement. All the quality is there. We're just able to manufacture it in a way that doesn't cost as much as a full Swiss-made product.